Dissociative identity disorder characterized by the presence of two or more distinct personality states. Dissociation can serve as a defense mechanism against the physical and emotional pain of a traumatic or stressful experience. To improve a person's outlook, it is important to treat any other problems or complications such as depression, anxiety, or substance abuse. At MediCircle, we present to you Dissociative Identity Disorder Awareness series, where we are featuring eminent clinical psychologists, psychiatrists, and psychoanalysts treating dissociative identity disorder, through which we aim to change those fears by spreading awareness of its existence to today's society and help bring about education and success through understanding and compassion. Hi, I'm Smita Kumar, your host, and today our guest for the talk is Dr. Dipali Bedi. Dr. Dipali,
Hi.
hi, hi, Dr. Dipali. Just let me give you a quick introduction about yourself. Like, he's a qualified clinical psychologist with RCI recognized degree in MPhil clinical psychology, having more than 15 years of experience in the field. She has worked with reputed hospitals, corporates, and schools. She's the founder of Sukoon Psychotherapy Center. Under this banner, she works with various corporates like Motherson Sumi Infotech and Designs Limited, Tata Consultancy Services, Jabong, Tower Vision, The Rising Sun, and Kaizen Infotech Private Limited. Hi, Dr. Dipali. Welcome to Medical.
Yeah, hi.
So, Dr. Dipali, to begin with, what must a person do to heal himself from dissociative identity disorder?
See, basically, when we are talking of dissociative identity disorder, we are also saying that the person is not aware that the person has dissociated. So, per se, the person might not be in a position to seek therapy. Usually, even the people around, if he wanders off from the original place, people might not be able to realize that, this person needs some kind of therapy, because might be otherwise be fine, but might not really connect with what the person was initially. So these people wouldn't be the ones who would come themselves for therapy. It would be the people around their loved one who would find out that, something like this has happened, might bring the person, or somebody who might meet them in a different phase might figure out that there's something seemingly a disconnect where the person might be brought for therapy. So to begin with, this therapy might not begin with the choice of the client, the person who is actually experiencing dissociative identity disorder. But yes, this needs to be brought up over there. There might be need of telling them that, this might be the possibility of what their identity might be, understanding what their repression might be, that they don't want to experience certain things, and then working on them to figure out why uncomfortable in their original identity.
Okay.
So, which would be sometime, like, I'm actually reminded of one of my case where it looked psychotic, where the family found out this lady who had wandered off from her marital house and was found near the rail tracks.
Okay.
She was not able to, she didn't identify herself as what she originally, according to the husband and the family, was, but somewhere identified herself as somebody else. Here she almost identified herself as what she was in her maiden phase. By her maiden name, her maiden realities, that's what she was identifying with. So was brought to a psychiatric center by the family, was put on antidepressant, but that didn't work. Till we could build a rapport with her, and we digged into her desires, where she was unhappy with how, with her responsibilities in them. I wouldn't say that, the husband was extraordinarily abusive or something, but she could not relate with that family because that was not the family of her choice. That was not the marriage of her choice. She didn't want to get married to this person because she was in love with somebody before getting married. And because she lost her father at that time, she was forcibly married off to another guy. So we were basically thus in a process where we let her express her desires in a subtle. I had used with her paintings and drawings, so she basically expressed that, and then we basically managed to let her realize that, that was one phase and one desire, and this is her reality. She chose to live to the reality. Ultimately, she chose to go back to her husband. She chose to uh, take care of her husband's children, which were basically not her children, because that was the second marriage. Uh, so these people need a lot of support and understanding of their own desires, their own fantasies, their own anxieties which are coming up in the situation, which might actually help them explore their own, how do they want to basically negotiate their own way out.
Sure, definitely.
So that's how it works.
Yes. So, are there any specific behaviors, Dipali, that we should try to inculcate in us or in our children's personalities to prevent occurrences of dissociative identity disorder?
See, if we go to the core of most of the disorders which are around the dissociation in various forms, dissociation has various subtypes where dissociative identity is one. But dissociation usually is a defense mechanism which occurs when a person is not able to handle the reality, and the person represses the reality and formulates another reality for oneself. So that usually happens because the reality outside might be too difficult to digest. Here, like the loss of the father, or even the factor that, I am not prepared for certain kind of a reality. So I might just like to forget that past or not connect with that past. The biggest usually the people at advantage in these situations are people who are educated enough, who understand uh, what reality can be and how difficult it can be. Yes. Having a lot of expression of their own emotions, not otherwise. Also, in Indian scenario, we actually encourage a lot of repression of our own desires, our own fantasies, which is indeed the reason that, anxiety is more in us. There's a lot of mental health issues that are coming up because we are almost living a fake life. Fake life increases repression, and ultimately there might be basically various symptoms might be seen because of that. So basically, be a safe space if we can get where we can express our difficulties with various scenarios. A receptive society, and within us a capacity to express what is going within us, or some expression of what is going within us. The more we can express, the less we have to hide behind various masks. Yes. Various falsehood. Yes. The better it will be for us.
I think we are living in a society where we always promote perfectionism, where we have perfectionist people, but actually it's not the reality. A lot of people have different kinds of limitations, disorders, but there is no such safe zone or safe area, as you said, that they can open up. And I think as you rightly said, that a lot of people are living this fake lives. And I think it is really harmful because at one point of time, everything would cease out because you're living two different lives. One, what you know from inside, and one, what you're pretending to the world. So I think it's
So
very common also.
so bigger. Yeah, so the bigger the gap, the worst would be the situation. As this gap keeps actually creating, means obviously you're using your energy to suppress that. Repression is also a process where there's a lot of energy which is consumed. If you have to almost pretend to be something different, you're consuming a lot of energy into it. And we are basically consuming ourselves into that. Whereas if we express, we can actually live a better life because we can consume that energy into something, becoming the better self of better of our own selves in a way. So yes, we need safe spaces for ourselves where we can express what we want out of life.
Surely. And be contented of life. One more question, Dipali. There are a lot of people who are suffering from this dissociative disorder or multiple split personality disorder. So how much are they harmful to other persons?
See, depends on what is the split. It might not be harmful for others at all, even maybe. So depends on what is the quality of the split. What are they splitting themselves into? If there's a lot of aggression and they are splitting, so that aggression might come up. But that every split might not be just coming out of aggression. There might be frustration. There might not be any aggression out in that. So it is not surely that, it has to be aggressive. But yes, a person who has to live in dissociation away from one's own reality, it is not easy alive. It is better to consume your energy in healing that and expressing that than actually trying to make something to please somebody. I'm actually interestingly because in one of the sessions just before this, I was talking to a client who has basically who's bisexual and is as at a verge where she wants to break her marriage because she wants to have a female partner for herself. So where there is a difficulty of expression, the fear of presenting themselves in a true self, it's not helping anybody. It's almost destructive for everybody in that relationship, in that scenario. So we not creating safe environment for people where they can talk, where people can talk about their sexual desires, they can talk about their various things. We don't somehow leave around the sexual desires. I think now we have become as a society, we have become a society where we cannot even talk about what is our financial status, how's the relationship in the house. We almost pretend to be, everything is all good. We on Facebook put our best pics, whereas this is so irritating and so frustrating to see the fact that people who might be coming in the worst phases of a relationship marital discord might have best of their profile of couple being put on their WhatsApp, Facebook and stuff like that. And I'm like, what split are we living through? So this is even a true identity that we are living in.
Definitely. It's not at all
might not be equal and sorry.
So it's not at all restricted, I think, to a disorder where some people are only affected. I think all are living split personalities. We have another face to show to the social medias and one to ourselves. And the thing which we are sharing with ourselves, it is limited. It is in a very smaller space and we don't get time and that energy where we can open up and express like we are having problems or there might be a lot of issues, but we generally paint the story as a very rosy to everyone out there. I don't know why, but this is happening. I mean, I'm seeing people like that. It's also, I think, definitely a challenge for a lot of people because they are not showing the truth. And they are, because to be perfectionist, like we are perfect couples or we are perfect parents or we are perfect children, I think we are using social media channels. I think it is due to them or that also. A lot of people have turned this way and do not talk openly about their shortcomings or limitations.
We are anyway living about the hiding factor of, how not to express. We are family secrets, friends secrets. So we are all living in that secrets,
Yes.
where the original expressibility of, when the boys are said you shouldn't cry if you are, means be a man enough not to cry. We're
Yes.
basically saying repress your feelings.
Yes.
Don't express your feelings.
Yes.
So we are training ourselves. It's not just the Facebook or somebody who's created it for us. We somehow as a society are moving towards that direction more and more with time. We are basically going away from our realities. We are not able to express what is going inside us, and that's the repercussions of the society.
Yeah, truly. But it's especially for the parents, I mean, for the patients who are dealing with this kind of diseases, it's like a traumatic experience for the family members or the friends, because most of the time they need to take care of them. So, what are your advices for such parents or such family members, like to for the patients who are suffering from dissociative identity disorder, how to keep them in control, or how to keep the situations in control, how to better calm them or be of more support to them?
See, understand one thing, that if the person is suffering from dissociation, there's a lot of things even around the person which is going not right. So one important thing is somewhere seeking the right therapy and the right help, and being adaptable enough to change and express and create more transparent life and less repressed life for everybody. A lot of healing doesn't happen because uh, the family members even around them don't want to change. It's difficult for them to even accept what is the reality. And if we see as a family member, obviously it is also difficult because we are all living in the society where expressions of emotions are difficult. Changes, acceptabilities of difficult things is becoming more and more difficult.
Yes.
We are almost imagining a world where you know it's about presenting the best. It is the package that we are talking of. We have all become a marketing almost marketing gifts or something. We are just being, the children are supposed to be the best packages, the people are supposed to be the best packages. So as a family also, it needs a lot of healing in terms of, they even need to understand that it's fine to have somebody who is not perfect. Accepting them with their imperfection. Females are supposed to be I sometimes indeed, just a few days back, on the Women's Day, I was making a poster for Women's Day, and one of the pics that came up was that female, which we have a lot of pics on Google where she's multitasking.
Yes.
And I was wondering, is it every female's choice that she needs to multitask to that extent? Maybe not. At least I am not one of that. I don't mind my house being a little chaotic because I work.
Yes, truly.
So multi, we don't want to be females. We expect somewhere that we put females on a pedestal, a mother on a pedestal, and then she's supposed to be godly. It is too difficult to be there.
Yes.
So it is not a choice which most of the people would want it.
Shami.
So allowing this imperfection, allowing this vices, means we are not perfect people. We are not a perfect society. None of us can be perfect.
Definitely.
Why is there an expectation that the person needs to be perfect or achieve a lot? I'm also reminded of the fact, I was a few days back hearing to the song of Tare Zameen Par. That movie has an interesting part where the father says, अगर पढ़ेगा नहीं तो क्या बनेगा? He is so very bothered about, he needs to achieve something big, that there's so much of a pressure that the person can break into it. The people don't care.
Yes.
And the loved ones don't care because there's so much of fear that, he has to be there. So somehow we have created a society where we are looking for people to be too perfect, without any issues, without any vices, without any differences. Indeed, no differences even. When we were kids, and if we would go into a party, although there were very limited clothes in the market, but somehow or the other, we would all be wearing different kind of clothes. But now the market has more clothes, the market has more to give us. But interestingly, every season almost has even a color defined, and half of the people would be found in the similar color wearing a similar dress. So that is the weirdest thing to happen, because we are not supposed to express our differences.
True.
We are not allowed to be the way we want to be. Definitely. We are just trying to fit in.
We are portraying
and yeah, so basically somewhere down the line we are losing ourselves in the process. Sure. And which needs a lot of energy to repress our desires, and that's the illness.
Definitely. So thank you so much, Dr. Dipali, for sharing the significant information about DID, dissociative identity disorder, with our viewers today. As we started the discussion with actually DID patients, but we also know that a lot of us are actually impersonating somebody else, or we are trying to be perfect. But as you said, nobody is perfect. And so we are actually living in split personalities. Rather, we should be opening up, expressing up. I know it's difficult, but we generally show that everything is fine every time, but I don't think so everything can be fine every time. So, but again, I don't know why the society is also everything promoting like that. People are promoting their children, families, jobs, everything like that. I think there must be an end to this thing, and we must be having this self zone where yes, we can definitely open up and say that yes, these are my imperfections. I may be well at these 10 things, but I may not be well at these 2. And as you rightly said, Dr. Dipali, that women are always shown as multitaskers. Working women are shown as multitaskers, like they are handling so many things. But I definitely think that's nobody's choice. Every time nobody thinks like, yes, I can be a multitasker. It comes with its own challenges. It is not that easy to multitask at every time. Everybody cannot just say confirmedly that, yes, I'm a multitasker at all times. He or she may fail sometime. But that there's a fear. There's a fear to accept that failure. There's a fear to accept that imperfection. Like the way you said in Tare Zameen Pe, he wanted his child to be perfect. He cannot be a painter. He cannot be something. He has to be somebody who's like a C-suite job and having a multi-million-dollar salary. So, but yes, this is really wrong what we are actually teaching to our kids. And we are showing that we are living in a perfect society, but it isn't the truth. So you might be dealing with so many patients already that might be coming to you, which they have already, they have different split personalities, and the society and everybody around us are living that life. So let's stop that and let's aware people, like let's start from the beginning, start from yourself and try accept that yes, I am the way I am, and yes, there may be some imperfections, but at least I am myself and I'm not impersonating anybody. So thank you so much.
We are all different. We are all different. Simple.
Yes, and that difference is good. Let's not imitate others. Let's not
absolutely
somebody else.
Absolutely.
And we are all running after success. We want everybody to be like top rankers, children to be top rankers, houses to be clean. Like if I'm baking a cake, it has to be perfect. It cannot be perfect every time. There may be imperfections. I really liked the topic which we raised today, that let's open up to our imperfections. Let's start accepting the way we are. Thank you so much, Dr. Dipali, for joining us and highlighting this topic with our viewers today.
Thank you.